Hey, so my informative speech, my purpose for speaking today is I'm going to be speaking about the Japanese anime industry and the difficult working conditions the animators there face. The anime industry is a $24 billion a year industry. That's 24 billion in US dollars. But yet, many of the animators that are working behind the scenes there are broke and are facing difficult working conditions. That's what I want to talk about a little bit today. Usually, when we think of cartoons, we think of something happy or which makes us smile. We don't realize what goes on behind the scenes. Um, the working conditions in the anime industry are what some would consider grim, even to the point that in 2014 a male committed suicide, and they did, after a lengthy investigation, they did find out that it was related to work. The month leading up to the suicide, he had worked 600 plus hours, which is enough to make anybody want to commit suicide. The Japanese industry really, anime industry really didn't take off till about 2002. The first anime production was called Astro Boy. It was created by Osamu Tezuka. He ended up selling the show very cheap just to get it on TV. And then after that, the industry leaders, took notes from that. He actually, to make up for the loss in profit, he actually ended up selling some toys and figurines and candy with the name brand Astro Boy. Um, then soon after that, the industry leaders figured out how to maximize profit and minimizing production cost. Unfortunately, the animators are the ones that ultimately are suffering from that. So now that I've talked a little bit about how the anime industry got started, I'm going to talk about the dark side of the industry. As I said, this is a $24 billion a year industry, which does kind of help them conceal what some refer to as a disturbing underlying economic reality. The average salary of an animator is about 700 yen per week, which equals 56 US dollars. A lot of animators are paid by commission. They make around 200 yen per drawing, like per drawing a little character or whatever. That average is taking about an hour, and so 200 yen equals about $1.84 in US dollars. And so they end up only making about $15 a day if they work like that. Most studios prefer to hire freelance workers because they don't have to abide by the labor laws, since they're considered independent contractors. The companies that own the studios force unreasonable deadlines on them. They're really independent contractors, and it helps them save money by not providing adequate compensation or any sort of benefits for the animators. So now that I have put the wages into perspective for you, I'm going to discuss what Vox.com calls anime slave labor problems. Some of the studios have been accused of violating labor laws. Here's some more numbers just to show you the long hours the animators are working. Like I said, the average American works about 200 hours per month, and the average animator in Japan is working anywhere from 400 to 600 hours a month. One employee in 2020 reported working 400 plus hours in a month in 37 consecutive days. That's 37 days nonstop. Some animators have faced significant health problems, such as mental health issues due to exhaustion, overworking. They have been hospitalized, and as I said, the example of the man that committed suicide. It's caused death, and a lot of some too. So just to recap, I started off discussing how the Japanese anime industry really took off in about 2002. And then I talked about how huge the profit from the industry conceals, how the huge profit that the industry conceals, most call it a disturbing economic reality. Then finally, I discussed why some studios have been accused of violating labor laws. So hopefully, this raised some awareness to the grim working conditions for the majority of the animators are facing, and shed some light as to why, as the getting back to the suicide, maybe shed some light as to why he did commit suicide ultimately in the end. And here's my visual aid. I'm having to use my cell phone for the camera because I was trying to use my laptop and this for visual aid. It just shows the Japanese animators here on the left. The blue is the hours that they work versus the United States, the U.S. animators. And the gray is the U.S. animator's salary versus the Japan's salary. So, thank you.